Double RT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr.A. Thank you for tuning in. Now, this is the I'm sorry, I messed that up, but Chris George going down to Josh Kelly in a RTD ringside technical decision between the 7th and 8th round. It's listed that George broke both his hands and possibly suffered a broken jaw. Now, Josh Kelly, you saw like 3 forms of Josh Kelly in this ring that you always see in his fights. You saw the aggressive Josh Kelly when he wants to fight. He's pretty damn good at turning it on, throwing in multiple combinations, and being pretty accurate with his combinations. And then you saw the Josh Kelly that is very creative in disguising his tiredness when he needs a break. He's very creative at moving, taking a walk about, making you think he's gonna do something. When he just all that moving and his punching, he gets tired. So he's very creative at disguising his gathering himself. And then you saw the little bit of the worrisome because Chris George was able to connect some good left hooks on him numerous times. He was catching Kelly spinning out to his left, but with his hands down, he just kept swinging that left hook. Now, it's funny that Ritson, who won in the first round knockout over Paul Hyland, it's funny that he was on this card, and because I forgot to do the breakdown prediction for that fight. I actually watched. I had my breakdown and prediction. I just never put it up. So what's the point now? I had Lewis Ritson winning that fight by 6-7 rounds. I thought that when Paul Hyland fights, he leaves his body too open, and I thought the pressure of Ritson was going to beat his body up and eventually drop his hands and knock him out. Ritson just put the pressure on, and Hyland tried to fight fire with fire and got dropped 3 times. After the first one, he just tried to he didn't try to survive, he didn't try and smother, he didn't try and hold on, he just got up and really just tried to wing it out. Got dropped again, got up again, tried to wing it out again. And I didn't understand if there's a 3 knockdown rule, because he didn't get counted out on 10, but the fight got waved off. So I don't know if the referee saw something or the corners, or the corner saved the fighter, because from the camera angle, at least from what I saw, I didn't see a corner get up. I didn't see a towel come in. I said the ref was counting, and then he just stopped his count and just waved it off. So like I said, I don't know if he saw something in because he didn't look like he thought Hyland couldn't go. He was kind of like he was gonna give him your 8 count and then let him fight again, and it just randomly ended. So Lewis Ritson just put on that pressure and just knocked him down 3 times in the first round. Head shots, body shots. Now, like I said, it's funny that when I was doing that prediction video, I was thinking to myself, that is a style. Because I was watching, I was doing a whole card. I wanted to do that whole card in one night as a breakdown prediction, but I was like, you know what? I started my channel with Josh Kelly. I want to give Josh Kelly his own video, and if it's season 3 and Josh Kelly's fighting, he's gonna be the one to start my season 3 off. I could keep that run going. So I gave Josh Kelly his own video, but in doing so, I forgot the other ones. But I was watching that whole fight, Stuart Kelly and all that, Stuart, Gavin, and all them, and I was sitting there, I was thinking, Louis Ritson has a style that can beat Josh Kelly. And I've explained why I think that. And it's funny that I was thinking that they actually said in the commentary that he lost to Ritson as an amateur. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't the same Josh Kelly we know, moving and herking and jerking. I seen I think one Olympic fight of him or something. He wasn't doing all that, but I could understand why he lost to him. And this is why I think that style could beat Josh Kelly today. A pressure forward fighter. Because Josh Kelly is dangerous when he's doing all that herking and jerking. He's making you think. He's plotting and planning exactly what he wants to do. He knows when his punches are going to come. All that is giving him confidence, making him fight his fight. If you just rush him, now don't get me wrong, Josh Kelly is a very good counter puncher, deadly counter uppercuts. Overall, just a good counter puncher. But if you take away that confidence rhythm, and you're making him think, it's less levels of Josh Kelly, and it's less he gets to do, and he becomes a little more of a predictable fighter. And like I said, all this stuff is making you think what he's going to do. If you're just rushing him and you're not giving him time to do all that, it takes a big part of his game plan out. So I think a Louis Ritson style will, at this stage, I think, really upset Josh Kelly. Now, it's going to have to be some guy with some decent boxing skills as well. You can't just rush him. You have to know how to box and be an aggressive guy. Because Josh Kelly does a lot of movement, and Ritson goes to the body. So someone who's going to punch chest level down could get Josh Kelly, because he does all that movement. He drops to right where you're going to punch. Don't aim for his head. You can hit, of course, it's boxing, he throws head punches, but aim for his chest level, because you're either going to hit him in the chest or you're going to hit him in the face, because he goes down a lot. Now, to the fight itself, he got hit by Chris George a lot. Some clean shots. Now, Chris George was throwing punches awkwardly weird if he had broke both his hands. But like I said, he was able to land a nice left hook on Josh Kelly a lot when he was spinning out to his left. He was spinning out with his hands down. He kept, I believe it was Tony Bellew on the commentator. I think it was him. I watched the fight walking to work. I saw all the cars were passing. I couldn't quite hear the commentary. Now, he did a really good job from around 4 on. When he had to turn it on, like, I need to get this guy out. When he wanted to be an aggressive championship type fighter, his combinations look great. The double up to the body with his counter left hook, his counter right uppercut. His jab was on point. His movement is good. His feet work is good. But it just shows Chris George was able to offensive counter him with a jab quite a few rounds. Like I said, round 1, I didn't give Chris George any rounds at all. Not even close to winning rounds. He had some competitive 20-second spurts here and there, but just your typical boxing moments. He didn't get dominated, but he lost every round clearly. Like he was game 20 seconds this round, game 20 seconds that round. But overall, I thought Josh Kelly should knock this guy out because of Chris George's lack of head movement. When he throws punches, he overextends. His head's on a straight line. And when Josh Kelly wanted to be aggressive and put combinations together, he finished him. Like I said, I think it was his second or third fight. It was a Tom Whitfield. if that Josh Kelly came in tonight, I think he would have blasted out Chris George in the same fashion. I believe his name's Tom Whitfield. He still remains the WBA International Welterweight title champion. He takes the Commonwealth title away from Chris George. Now, like I said, these are good step ups for Josh Kelly. You know, he's 7-0, but he's taken it with 5 KOs. He's fighting people with good records that could give him some nice tests. Yes, it was Tom Whitfield. Now, like I said, he fought after Whitfield. He fought Jose Luis Zenga. You know, that was like the last whatever fight. Even though Whitfield was supposed to be a nice test, but then he fought Hammercaro, Carlos Molina, now Chris George. All extremely winning records. All who's going to give him some type of test. You know, they're not fighters who he should beat easily without having to work to beat him. Now, like I said, I'm happy that he's 7-0. You don't want to fast track him, but pretty soon with that WBA Intercontinental. See, the thing is, the reason why he probably could get away with it is because the 147-pound division is stacked. So he might not crack the top 15. But let's just take a look at it right here on the RRT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing. I am your host, Mr. A. Before we go, let's see. WBA, Keith Thurman's the champ. You got Ivan Mute, Konstantin Paramarov, Alexander Buspin, and Zenko Tortorov, Valentin Golovko, Samuel Vargas, Fabian Idris, Maidana, Jose Cita Lopez. That's the top 8. 7 is Amir Khan, Jose Benavidez, Frank Rojas, Igis Kavalaskis, Jamal James, Jesse Vargas, Manny Pacquiao. Maybe 3 more fights here crack this top 15. Because once you crack the top 15, you better start fighting those other 14 people. And I don't want to go a little off subject, but don't do an Anthony Yarde. Do not do Anthony Yarde. As a fan of boxing, I'm just turned off. I'm turned off. You know, I like Anthony Yarde. He looks the part. His last couple fights, he's been getting hit, so he's looking vulnerable. But he's number 2 by the WBO, and he has not fought one person in the top 15. And that happens a lot in boxing, but how do you get to be number 2 in the WBO and not fight one person behind you? There's 13 people behind him, and he has not fought one of them. I hope Josh Kelly don't follow in that trap. The RRT Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Please subscribe.